Every flag's been on us. I got an official telling me it's third down, and at the snap, he's saying fourth down. You guys got to be better. That's inexcusable.
All right, that is officially my favorite moment from the debacle that was the flag football world over the weekend. Welcome to Altitude Football, Altitude After Dark. Coacher's got some coaching thing that he's doing with kids in the dark, I guess. We're brought to you by Journey Spice. We're going to get to that, and we're going to give you the top prospects in the NFL draft at running back in just a second. Love your comments as well. Throw them in here. We're brought to you by our great friends at Journey Spice. You can use this QR code right here, and it can save you 10% using the code Altitude26. That's a QR code that makes it easy. Cat Cave, my beautiful wife, just finishing up a salmon dinner for us. That was absolutely gorgeous and delicious, whether it's Zatar, whether it's the old Tuscan, the Sicilian, the savory garlic, whatever it is, the Moroccan spice, Mediterranean, KC barbecue. Oh, that gives a little dish, gives you a little kick. It makes your face look like this. Yeah. Thank you, Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. Save yourself 10% using the code Altitude26. All right, here we go. Here's the best running backs of the draft and where they're expected to go. Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, both out of Notre Dame. Both would be fantastic for the Broncos. And it's a question whether or not, I mean, it seems unlikely that Jeremiah Love would make it deep in the first, and the Broncos don't even have that pick anymore. And Jadarian Price is probably gone too. So let me give you a couple of others that might make sense. Nicholas Singleton from Penn State. Jonah Coleman from Washington. My favorite is Mike Washington Jr. from Arkansas, and also Emmett Johnson from Nebraska. So I've talked a lot about Mike Washington. Again, I'm looking for a bigger guy. So Nicholas Singleton would cover that. Penn State, 220, 6 foot. He's got the kind of grit and sort of the flavor that you're thinking about. Jonah Coleman from Washington. Well, not really. He's the typical bowling ball type of guy, 5'9", 228. So it feels like we've had a lot of those guys, and it feels like RJ Harvey is kind of the same thing. Emmett Johnson out of Nebraska. Again, somewhat of the same deal. A little taller, 5'10", 200 pounds. So kind of slender and quick and all that. Then we get to my guy. And this is where he just rises above the rest, I think. At 6'2", 230. I just laugh. 6'2", 230, runs a 4.3. And one of the first things that pops up when you look up Mike Washington is an article. Here's the headline. Mike Washington Jr. would give the Broncos another explosive threat in their backfield. This is fantastic. It's written by Scotty Payne, somebody I don't know. Let me just read a little bit to you. One prospect who may interest the Denver Broncos in the second round of the NFL draft is Mike Washington. 6'2", 223. He's actually right, 6'1", 223. But by draft day, he'll be 6'2", 230. He's one of the better size speed playmakers in the NFL draft. He's bounced around his career with stints in Buffalo and New Mexico. That's true. But spent this part season with Arkansas and had a great season with the Razorbacks. Played in 12 games, 167 carries for 1,070 yards, 6.4 per with 8 rushing touchdowns. He also had 28 catches for 226 yards and a receiving touchdown. So there you go. He's posted a 39-inch vertical, ran a 4.3. He's like a video game and a big guy. So to see an article, projecting Mike Washington Jr. to go to the Broncos in the second round, to me is a dream come true. And if you want to tell me you can get Jalen Waddle and then Mike Washington with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, I'm going to be all right even on the tight end position there. I'm going to be pretty pumped, period. So it's interesting to see sort of some vibes that Mike Washington could be that guy. I like it. I see it. You know what? Yahoo Sports may have got this from Mile High Report. I want to give all credit where credit's due. So Yahoo might have just picked this up from Mile High Report. So props to Mile High Report. I want to be careful that I don't get eviscerated on the old internets. But I've been talking about Mike Washington Jr. since the draft, and I wasn't really aware of him until the draft. But okay, so what? Doesn't matter. Arkansas had a lousy year record-wise. Nobody was watching Arkansas football. You'd be better off watching Arkansas basketball. They're in the Sweet 16. But Arkansas football, nobody's paying attention. Aside from him, if we're going with other, running backs, I just look for bigger guys. So inherently, I would just be a little bit more interested in Nicholas Singleton than I would be in Jonah Coleman. But that's me. Meanwhile, we had a kind of an interesting moment at the Nuggets tonight. Marvin Mims got to take the ceremonial shot. He missed it. But he was on with Vic Lombardi, and here he is talking about, this is Marvin Mims talking about Jalen Waddle. And look for what's in the background during this interview.
Team, how did you react when you saw that trade?
Yeah, for sure. I think it really surprised me, just bringing in a guy like that. But, if you look at his career ever since high school to college to now, he's just an explosive playmaker. And I think offensively, we always need more playmakers. I think it'll be a really fun to watch, so we'll just see how it all comes out this season.
Do you ask yourself, what does that mean for me, since you guys are essentially the same type of player?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just interesting to see how I'll fit in the offense. But at the end of the day, just for me, the past 2 years, the thing I've taken pride in is being able to play running back, be a returner, be a receiver. So any way I can affect the game, I'm happy to go out there and do it.
Yeah, the good.
All right. Does anybody else find it funny that when Vic's interviewing him, this is the graphic behind Marvin Mims? Does that strike anybody's funny bone? Funny? You got me on that one. I don't know what Marvin Mims' role is going to be. Less. And good for Vic, man, for asking him the question. Hey, man, it looks like this guy does the same exact thing as you. What do you think? I don't know. It should be great. Yeah. I do wonder if the Broncos got the right offer for Mims, would they deal him? They don't have a third-round pick. If you got a third-round pick for Marvin Mims, would you take it? And the answer to that question for me is yes, I would. Yes, I would. It would be tough, though, because Mims is such a great kick returner, punt returner, one of the best in the leagues. But you compare that to depth or talent that you could get in the third round, we'll find other kick returners and punt returners. It's important to have somebody good at that position, but, a third-round pick, I think we know who it's all about. Meanwhile, Kay Adams tracked down Sean Payton at the flag football game, and she was pretty direct with them.
Can you waddle? What do you love about Waddle?
There's a grit to him. Guys like Teddy Bridgewater, Nick Saban. A ton of people talk about his high competes. The minute it happened, though, there was this immediate thought he would be perfect for this game.
I knew you were going to say that.
Having had a chance to meet our international team, and I've seen 18 of their games.
You watched 18 games. Is this what you were doing instead of signing people during the first couple of days of free agency?
Yeah, free agency was tough.
Yeah, free agency was tough.
Can you waddle?
Okay. So there's Sean Payton saying free agency was tough. What do you suppose he meant by that? Why was it tough? I didn't think you were all that interested in other people. Why was it tough? Was it tough because you set a standard that you thought was reachable for certain players and the money went far outside that, meaning you misjudged your cost expectations? Is that why it was tough? How many guys did you miss out on? I mean, I doubt J.K. Dobbins was your number one choice. And did you really want to pay him $8 million, maybe up to 10 a year? I don't think so. And was it tough? Because, listen, maybe had you got that Waddle deal done when you first started working on it, you would have had more time to do other things and time just got past you. Did that make it tough? What made it tough? Free agency was tough. That's an interesting comment to me. Speaking of the flag football game, I mean, I don't know. I first of all, I didn't know what all the rules were for flag football. I'll break down the flag football game here in just 1 second.
There's a world of flavor out there, and to find it, you have to take the journey. Journey Spice Company handcrafts the most premium spice and seasoning blends that have no sugar, no salt, are certified USDA organic, non-GMO, vegan-friendly, and always planet-friendly. You are going to love serving amazingly delicious creations while knowing you helped reduce single-use plastics. Make sure to search for Journey Spice Company on Amazon today.
All right. Thank you to Journey Spice. And again, you can save yourself 10% by using the code altitude26. I'm seeing some of the comments here, and I'll get to the flag football game here in a second. Let me see some of the comments here. Who's your favorite receiver in this draft? Well, I'm a little partial to Jordan Tyson because of CU and Arizona State. Works up. But if you're asking me like who I think the Broncos can get, they had Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana in the building. Love him. Would love him to be on the team. Casey Concepcion, fantastic from Texas A&M. And I know they've had interest and they talked to Denzel Boston from Washington. So that's 3 of them for you. But I just don't feel they'll be going in that direction. So there you go. Andy and Nate want to trade Mims. I get it. I would absolutely understand that. And I just said if you could get a 3rd-round pick for him, I'd be fine with him. Mims is going off this season. Well, he's going to have to get the ball to go off. I mean, how many throws do you think are coming his way? But I'd like to see it. Nick Saban reference. Got Sean doing the Waddle. Kay got Sean to do the Waddle. I don't know.
Can you waddle? Can you waddle?
All right, that's kind of
Can
funny.
you waddle? Can you waddle?
Enough with the waddling. Only Kay Adams, man. I think she's I think that's it. He has a soft spot for Kay Adams. Yeah, you think so? It was a terrible free agent class. Okay, but why was it a tough one? I mean, I get you. I got it. But why do you say it was a tough one? It's tough because they couldn't get any discount deals. Yeah, there you go. I agree with you. I think they set the bar as terms of what they were willing to spend, and they got caught by surprise, perhaps. Or I don't know if they were surprised or not, but I think when you set a bar and you think, well, this is what we could do in free agency, and you get one dude, that safety guy, period, I think it's probably pretty frustrating. Tough as in you don't want to overspend for someone that won't improve the team. Okay. Hey man, I don't know if you know, you know. If he gets used right, he can. You're talking about Mims. He's never been used right. All right, so what makes you think he's going to be used right now? Okay, I'll go with your premise. So why do you think it's going to be any different once you bring in Jalen Waddle? I mean, it's going to be some tough moments for Marvin Mims. I mean, I think he already had kind of a tough one tonight. A little bit. I mean, kind of. Let's see. What else we got here? Denver's going to have to move up for Mike Washington. His reported downside is pass pro. Well, he's 6'2", 230. I think he'll figure that out. So that may turn off Sean. I'd rather pursue Stowers. Whatever, Broncos will probably draft a quarterback. Listen, if they got Eli Stowers in the second round, I would be absolutely fine with that too. But my guy is Mike Washington. You essentially are prepping for Bo's big contract and cap hit. That's coming up, but you can spend money this year. And this is a Super Bowl year, man. Look at all the prognostication, the odds, the talk of the town. It's everybody who's talking about the Super Bowl is mentioning the Broncos. About Mims, I don't think he will ever be used right. I agree with you. Kill you with truth, right? ETN was worth the extra few million. I agree with you on that. We're in agreement circle here. That was my guy. That's who I wanted. I would have cost you 13. It might have cost you a little bit more because it looks like he was leaning towards New Orleans and Louisiana because that's where he's from, where they know how to apparently say his name right. He's a damn good kick and punt returner, and I appreciate that. Okay, I do too. I mean, it's good to have somebody back there that you can really depend on. I agree. And I'm not trying to chase him off. I think he just might personally have a tough year. Hey, I sent you a DM on Twitter, but somebody on Discord is impersonating you in order to scam other creators. Oh, that sucks. Well, don't pay attention to fake DMac. Sean get in his own way and makes it more complicated than it should be. Let's go here. Generally stoked for flag football in the Olympics. Okay, let me get to that. Thank you for all your comments. I love you guys commenting. Thank you for liking and subscribing. You guys are the best. Flag football. Okay. Well, first of all, I didn't even know how flag football worked. I didn't understand the rules. I thought it was 7-on-7, not 5-on-5. I didn't know shit about flag football. I didn't know you couldn't jump. I don't know. I found a lot of things out. So obviously they were playing within the rules that they'll compete in the Olympics. Now, RG3 made a big deal about how he's training and going to work out hard and going to try to make Team USA football. Okay, cool. Because it does look like there's room for one sort of pocket passing quarterback in flag football. But you don't need a lot. You don't take a lot of deep shots. You don't need to. If you get over midfield, it's another first down. And then you got 4 more downs to get in. There's a lot of shovel passes. There's a lot of 2 quarterback looks where you just spread guys out and get one-on-one confrontations. And then you got to be fast and quick. So a guy like Tom Brady would be useless. Joe Burrow wouldn't be that great. You need somebody who's really fast and elusive. I mean, RG3 would be a better concept. So none of those NFL guys fit. None of them. Now, I guess if you got a really tall, skinny guy, that could be a receiver. But where you need help the most is on defense. Team USA did not scored every single time they had the ball except for a kneel down. So they played in 3 games and they scored touchdowns every time. It reminded me a lot of Arena League football, meaning if you can get 2 defensive stops, most likely you had a chance to win the game. And that appears to be the same in flag football as well. It's really not about the offense, although the offense takes a certain body type. It's about rushing the quarterback, being able to grab the flag, and having great coverage skills. Because there's no blocking. You can't sit picks. You've just got to get out of the way. There's no fumbling. The ball hits the ground. It's dead. There's no contact. There's no fumbles. So all the skills that some guy like Saquon Barkley has are kind of useless in flag. He's too wide. He's not shifty enough. And because you can't jump, it's kind of this weird duck walk, squat, hip turn shit that goes on. It's It's just a different sport. I used to get in arguments about softball to baseball, and I stopped having that argument, and I grew to appreciate softball much more when I could accept that it's just a different sport than baseball. So it's wrong for me to apply anything about baseball to softball. Different sport. And so is flag football. It's a different sport. Team USA is already world champs. There's no real reason to put any of these NFL guys in. And I think it was kind of embarrassing. Here's Sean Payton. I'll play this in sequence. He got killed. He lost all the games that he played. He lost the game against Team US. He coached 2 games and he got killed. I'm sure his pocketbook didn't get killed. And my God, can you imagine how happy these guys were to play this game in Los Angeles rather than Saudi Arabia? But I mean, there were dozens of people at the soccer stadium. Like, the attendance was terrible. All right, here's Sean, because he was rightfully upset about this, by the way. It was really 3rd down, not 4th down.
Left in this half. Tell me 3rd down and change it to 4th like that.
You can't call it 3rd down and change it to 4th, or you can't say 4th down and change it to 3rd. And then he really got after the refs.
Every flag's been on us. I got an official telling me it's 3rd down, and at the snap, he's saying 4th down. You guys got to be better. That's inexcusable.
It's inexcusable. One more time.
Every flag's been on us. I got an official telling me it's 3rd down, and at the snap, he's saying 4th down. You guys got to be better. That's inexcusable.
Inexcusable. That's pretty funny, man. So anyways, with the flag football, I don't think any of the NFL guys make sense for flag football. I think there's a certain strategy in a way that you play that takes significant experience to do it the right way. I mean, there's plenty of great athletes, obviously, in the NFL, but small and skinny seems to be the right body type. You know, like the one guy who was like 5'7", 137 pounds was a dynamo. So, because it's harder to get the flag. You got to reach down. Like, tall guys are easier to get the flag. I mean, maybe you need a couple of tall guys to high point things, but most of the passes, the guys were wide open. You know, it's just different. It's played way different than all of us playing at the Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving. Different rules, different styles, different coaching, different experience. So I'm like, I understand why Major League Baseball players make the WBC more interesting, why NHL players make the Olympics more interesting. It would be more interesting for NFL players to represent Team USA in flag football, but they're not the best players. And in hockey and baseball and basketball, they're the best players. There's not a team of the Harlem Globetrotters would not be a better option than the best guys from Team USA who play in the NBA. But these guys are. So good for them, man. What a moment for those guys. I thought it was embarrassing for the NFL guys. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not as bad or as embarrassing as this.
You Waddle?
Let's see if we get some more comments here real quick. Danny Woodhead would be a flag football god. Yeah, somebody like him. Somebody like that. Yeah. The only reason to use NFL guys is money, which you probably get at least 1 or 2 on the team. Well, yeah, I think, and Robert Griffin, RG3, and he's not even an NFL guy anymore. You could obviously get away with 1 or 2 NFL guys on the team and be just fine. You'd be just fine. And maybe you should do that. But you don't need to. That's for sure. Jaleel McLaughlin, not good for flag football. Too thick. He's too thick. Need a bunch of rangy cornerbacks. Kind of. Yeah. Yep. Like, even Pat Surtain is too big. Like, you got to be like, listen, you don't have to do a damn thing, okay? I'm just telling you, I watched the game, and that's how I figured that out. Anything else here? PS2 and Travis Hunter would be better. fits Kyler Murray as a quarterback. I think PS2 is too big. Travis Hunter has a better body type than PS2. Maybe Kyler Murray would be insane as a quarterback. Kyler Murray actually would be perfect. So there you go. And the ball's smaller. So these guys, those teeny tiny little hands. So yeah, all right. I'll go with you on Kyler Murray. It'll be interesting. Last comment about Mims. It'll be interesting if they use Mims to break tendencies with Waddle and get him wide open downfield, but that's probably limited gadget stuff. You're an 11 personnel. Who are your 3 receivers? Sutton, Waddle, and who else? Mims? Troy Franklin? Pat Bryant? What are we doing? I mean, maybe Mims, but not always Mims there. But always Waddle. And always Sutton. All you have to do is follow the money. All you guys have to do is follow us on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. Altitude Football is on every single night at 6 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Myself and Chad Brown will be on with you tomorrow, talking about everything going on with the draft, free agency, maybe get Chad's thought on, the flag football stuff, which would be kind of fun. And NFL rule proposals, this has been floated, which is fascinating. Except for quarterback and specialists like kickers, long snapper, punters. You get 18 games. You can only play in 17 of them. Now, by the natural process of injury, players will inherently miss a game here or there. But it would mean you'd have to manage things with, say, your offensive line or other players, meaning nobody would really play 18 games aside from the quarterback and specialists. It's an interesting concept. They're going to get to 18 games by hook or by crook. And if the NFLPA really wants to throw a stink about that, about getting paid or whatever, this 17 rule might be an interesting solution. We'll get into that with Chad and talk more about that this week. And I love rule changes. I love making the games better. I know I think it was the Bengals that wanted to be able to trade picks as far as 5 years out, not just 3 years, but 5 years out. I say, sure, why not? I don't know. Why is there a limit to how far out you can trade picks? Trade them 100 years out. What do we care? So I think that makes sense too. We'll dig into that more as we go. Make sure you like and subscribe. A lot of people watch and don't subscribe. I'm looking at you. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you for paying attention. DMac's back at 9 o'clock tomorrow. We'll dig into the Avs and Nuggets game from over the weekend. Great win by both teams today, which is pretty exciting. And we'll talk more about football and all sorts of stuff. You'll hear from Nikola Jokic. And Gabe Landeskog had surgery on his nuts. I guess that's what the story is. Details tomorrow morning, and we appreciate it. Oh, and shout out to DU for winning whatever that tournament was. Agreed. I wasn't the North something. There were a 2 seed for the Frozen Four, but whatever that tournament was, they won it. So awesome. Have a great night.
Can you waddle?